speaker for the evening on, let's kind of show him maybe some of the things that we learned, because the guy that I'm about to bring on is obviously a great football coach, but I think his mission in life is to educate his players, not necessarily just on the football field, but probably more importantly, to prepare them for life. And we kind of share a lot of the same philosophies from a faith standpoint, from a family standpoint, and from a service standpoint, all the things that we talked about. So I hope you don't embarrass me, and I hope you get all our things that we've learned the past 2 nights so Coach can hear it, all right? We'll pay attention to what? Pay attention to what you give will, what you keep, what you give, what you keep. Will you be your brother's keeper? Yes. Will you be your brother's keeper? Yes. All right, it's my honor to bring out the head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes, a man that I admire. We're lucky to have him in Columbus. And more importantly, I consider him a good friend, guys. Jim Tressel.
Thank you. Coach Spielman, you sent me out 4 smart little guys. Smart. I want some smart ones. Those guys look pretty smart. All right? They did a pretty good job as a group, learning the lessons. Those are great lessons. Those lessons will serve you more than any football you learn here for these 3 days. Now I have a quick quiz, Coach Spielman. I want to see if they've grown to know you. Okay? All right, first question. What's your name? William. William, what is the most important thing in the world to Coach Spielman?
Faith.
Faith. Congratulations. Good job. Sit down. Good job. What's your name? This is Andrew. Here's Andrew's question. What's the next most important thing to Coach Spielman?
Family.
His family, correct. Good job. Now the next one might be debatable, but since I'm the teacher, I got the answer. Okay, what's your name? Brock. Okay. What's the next most important thing to Coach Spielman?
Football.
Football, right. Okay, congratulations. Okay, now this is a harder one. That's why we saved it for the bigger guy. Again, this might be debatable, but since I got the shirt, okay? What's the next most important thing to Coach Spielman?
Nate. Ohio State.
Right, there you go, Ohio State. All right, last question. Now you all better answer this correctly, then I'll know that you've paid attention. Who was just inducted to the College Football Hall of Fame? Yes, sir. Chris Spielman, right? Chris gets the shirt. But you gave that to him. That was nice of you. Well, thanks so much for a couple things. Number one, for letting me come and share a minute, because I know you want to get back to work, and I know you're having a lot of fun. Something we talked to all of our players about and all of our campers about over the course of the summer is that we want to make sure that we're a grateful group, that we're appreciative of all the blessings that we have. We're lucky to live in this country. I see we have some folks here that serve our nation, and it's because of them and all the folks before them that we live in this great free country. and that we have the wherewithal to help make this entire world free. And that's the mission of our United States military. So we're blessed to live in this country. We're blessed to live in this area where they love football. We're blessed to live in this country that allows us to have an education and become whatever it is we would like to become. And we're blessed to be a part of this game. I hope when you leave here tomorrow at the end of your camp that you seek out these coaches who have come to work with you and take time from their vacations, and some of them from their own teams, who they could be back home working with their own teams. I hope you take the time to let them know how much you appreciate the time they spent, the things that you learned from them, their willingness to share and to give to you. Because we always say that life's a lot more fun when you have an attitude of gratitude. Make sure you let your parents know, or your aunts or your uncles or grandparents or whoever it is that made it possible for you to get here. It doesn't look like too many of you have a driver's license, so someone had to bring you. Make sure that you let the folks know that made this possible that you appreciate. And then lastly, I would say to you this. Make sure you understand that everything that you do is for the good of the whole. The good of your family, the good of your community, the good of your school, the good of your team that you're going to play for. Make sure you understand that you're going to do every single thing you can to help that group. I've heard Chris say many, many times, the only thing he expects of a football player, the only thing he expects of a teammate is to play with tremendous effort and to give everything they have for the good of the group, to give everything they have for the good of the game. So the last thing that we say before we go out onto the field in Ohio Stadium, or if we're playing on the road, the last thing that we say is a little reminder to one another that we've got to do what we can do. Whatever it is that day, that game, that we can do for the good of the whole, we're going to make sure that we do that. So we say a little poem together. And I want to see if you can learn it with me real quickly. Now this has got like 7 verses, but we're only smart enough to learn 1. And that's all I'm going to ask you to learn. Okay, you ready to go this with me? It's the last thing the Buckeyes say before they take the field. Okay, repeat after me. I am only one. But I am one. I can't do everything. But I can do something. And that I can do, I ought to do. And what I ought to do, by the grace of God, I shall do. That's all we expect of each other, to go out, and whatever it is our job is, whatever our role is, whatever it is that afternoon when we take the field. If it's a coach, he's going to be focused in, do the best he possibly can. If it's a player who gets to play out in the game, he's going to give tremendous effort, use his technique, use what he learned all week in practice, and he's going to execute the best he possibly can. If it's a guy that's on the sideline and he might not get in the game, he's going to have electricity and energy and excitement, intensity. He's going to encourage his teammates when they come off the field. He's going to make sure that that sideline is full of belief. Because that day, that might be what he's called upon to do. So I would ask, just like Chris asked you guys to do, give great effort. Make sure you understand that the team comes first. And whatever it is the team is going to allow me to do, and I have a chance to do, I'm going to do that well. I am not going to let the team down. I'm not going to let the group down. Thanks so much for your time and your attention. I know it's hot out here. We appreciate you. God bless you, and go Bucks.
All right, hey, now we're going to have a real quick demonstration. Get up here, Noah. We're going to talk about tackling. This is I think something, and maybe, I don't know if you coaches agree with me or not, but I get